I went to the garden center and took your advice about texture and color, and I got very excited about the Ajuga chocolate chip. I just love the brown, brassy color and the green, and comparing this with the Platts black, I just thought that was such a wonderful combination. And I also like this, the Veronica, and the smaller leaf with this.
That's time, yeah. Well, they all are wonderful combinations because of the contrast in textures. However, Verna, this plant is too mature for the way we're going to do the dachshund. So I think we better stick to the Veronica and the thyme.
Okay.
Okay?
So let's get started. I just love this guy.
He's wonderful. But the problem is now we want to plant him from the inside. So I need to open him up. He's already been soaked, so he's not dripping anymore, which is kind of nice. And I'm just going to cut through the cable ties there and there. And I don't think, well, we won't bother with the bottom one. I'm going to pull some moss out to make room for my perennial. Now we'll just knock this guy out of the pot and maybe pull the roots a little bit. When they get pot bound, it's always nice to loosen them up a bit. Now, we're going to put the whole thing in because he will fit quite nicely into that cavity. Now, I'll head him like that, give him a quick turn, and kind of jiggle some of the leaves up through the wires. Now, remember that trusty tool where we're just going to pull a few of the leaves through before we put too much pressure on. Gently pull them through. Here we go. They will continue to grow through, of course, but it's nice to give them a bit of a head start. Now, since I've got most of that there, but holding it firmly, I'm going to put some more moss back down underneath just to kind of steady it up against the wire. There we go. And now I'll poke some down the side. We'll be able to add more moss from outside once we've closed them back up again, but we might as well get as much as we can in now. So just pack it firmly. There we go.
So any of these animals could you plant from the inside like you're doing now, or from the outside as you did before?
I think it depends a lot on the amount of cavity space that you have. This is a good size. It takes a 3-inch perennial very nicely. It's also possible to reduce the root system. If it's a little tighter, you can always knock some of the soil off and some of the roots if you need to get into a tighter space. Or you could also cut them in half and put half on one side and half on the other.
Okay.
But this animal is a perfect fit for the 3-inch perennial.
Okay, now I know you also brought someone already done in the Ajuga and Platts black for me. Can we have a look at what would he look like when he's all done?
Absolutely.
Well, I just cannot get over how beautiful this fellow is, and the eyes again really lend a personality to him. The Platts black has had time to grow out, as well as the Ajuga. He's just gorgeous.
Well, that is terrific. He's very nice. And, of course, he's had time to grow. This little guy won't take that long. I need to close him up right now, though, and then we'll finish up. So I'm going to take my cable tie and put it in underneath and then across in an X formation. Yeah, if you could just steady him there, Verna, that would be terrific. I've got him loosely positioned, and then I'm going to do another piece across the same way.
I see you're doing that on a diagonal.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
I find it makes a stronger connection, like an X. And my handy nut pick comes in handy, too, sometimes to just pull that through.
And you're not pulling it tight, I noticed.
No, I like to keep them just a little bit loose until I get it stable, and then all the wires lined up nicely.
Okay.
And then I need to redo the ones that were on the side. Put my finger there, just kind of grabs the cable tie well for me. There's one. And there we go with 2. And I'll do the back side. Okay, 1.
Well, that didn't take long at all.
No. Now we need to trim them off. I'll give them a bit of a snug up. Since my wires are all nicely lined up, cut them off. Actually, this was very fast, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You now just need to be patient and watch him grow a little bit. But do you know, this fellow has some up here as well. And I'd like to see maybe we try a little bit from here. But I've already closed him up.
Okay.
Not a problem. All we're going to do is pull out a little bit of moss. And here. And we're going to just
Well, he was looking a little bald.
Well, can't have that.
No.
Okay, so this is thyme. It's actually elephantine, which is a wonderful little plant. I'm just going to separate off a little bit. Don't need very much. See, because I haven't got a lot of space in here, I can pull out a little bit more moss. There we go. And I should be able to poke this root system back in. Now, you'll make sure that you leave this in the shade just for a few days until it gets established. And put some more moss back in
Well, that's better than a toupee.
And it's a lot cheaper, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as time goes, that will grow beautifully over the head of the, just like this one did.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that this plant likes dry conditions,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good location for it on the
Oh,
top of the head.
Great idea.
So there, he's all done. Just
We'll give him some eyes then? And
Oh, absolutely. Let's get some hens and chicks. Can you reach them for me over there? Now we just need to find two that are similar in size. And these are, they always have a little bit of a root on them. There we go. And we'll poke a hole where the eye cavity, where the eyes go, and stick them in there. Isn't that easy?
instant green eyes.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
He's looking at you.